Good morning. This beautiful stretch of the Llangollen Canal may look like any other peaceful canal. However, something pretty incredible happens here. This land here belongs to the Lyneal Trust, and they run specially adapted narrowboats so that people with disabilities can experience canal and boat life. And as someone who lives on a narrowboat knows how magical the waterways are, I'm really curious to find out how they make this accessible to everyone.
The Lyneal Trust set up just over 40 years ago, and its ethos is to provide holidays both on the canal with family and group, or holidays shore-based in our cottages here. It is designed and everything works around accessibility and people with vulnerabilities, disabilities, hidden disabilities, and people who are maybe recovering from illness. That's what the Trust sets out to do, and for 40 years that's what we've been achieving.
The ramp gets placed down and there's some small bolts that hold it into place so it doesn't slip and it's safe for people to come down.
The lift is such an important part of anybody, wheelchair users and people who are not so good on their pins maybe. This is the way they can get in. The other thing is the length of the stern here, so people can stand up here, have a cup of coffee, or maybe a G&T maybe of an evening.
Right then, let's see this boat in action and I'll give you a full tour. So we've got Alan at the helm today. I'm loving this, Alan, because it's massive, isn't it? You can have a party on it, can't you?
You can have a dance up here, no problem.
And this is obviously for the wheelchairs so they can move around on here. And we haven't half picked a beautiful day for it today, so let's go and have a look inside. Oh my goodness, this is amazing! Straight away, the width of this, the space is just phenomenal compared to my narrowboat anyway, Jolly Roger. This huge walkway, there's some bunk beds here, and then if you keep going, in here there's a little bathroom and we've got some more bunk beds, and then, wow, this is a huge walk-through bathroom. So you can shut this door, and then you've got all this space. Look at this, this is massive. Big shower, toilet. I've never ever been on a boat with a bathroom this big, ever. Even on a wide beam.
I've been volunteering for 3 years now, and I started with the Trust really just to promote access and accessibility. So people with different access needs and disabilities have the opportunity to come on a holiday like this. Obviously with different needs, people need different things. And also the wet room, which is another thing that's really important to people, is to be able to have that independence and still go on holiday, or having a friend or carer or family to come along with you and enjoy the beautiful canals and the scenery is invaluable. It's making memories that we wouldn't have had opportunities to do before.
When the boat was being commissioned, there were various aspects that we needed to look at to get right. You can't rewind on these things. And the colour scheme was something that we'd been advised was important to people with visual issues, that not blind, but they needed to be able to have easy access to the bedding, the curtains, just to make their life what we want them to enjoy whilst they're here. So hence the colour. It is specific to the needs for certain people with visual disabilities.
Sarah, how is it? Because it seems very wide this. How is it for you? Because for me, it seems massive, but your chair, it's a big chair, isn't it?
It's a big chair. I've got very limited space to move, but I can manoeuvre. If I reverse, I can turn in the space at the bottom. And also, it is narrow, but I can still manoeuvre down to the wet room and use the shower, bathroom facilities. I can get to the kitchen independently.
And that's what it's all about with these boats. It's making memories, having independence, and loads of fun, eh?
And laughs.
Yeah, loads of fun and laughs. That's what we like. What's really lovely about being on this boat is this massive, huge rear end. Got these bars, these rails that keep you fully enclosed, so you're safe on here, and also they're low down. So if you are visually impaired, there's something to grab hold of, and you can move your way around. And I think that's lovely because at the back of the Jolly Roger, one wrong move, and you're in the cut.
If you're interested in hiring one of our boats, look on our website, all the details are there. You can see the availability and all the details you need for booking. We ask you to watch the Waterways awareness DVD so that you've got a good idea how to do locks and moor and set off and handle the boat, although we do give you teaching on the day that you turn up. If you've not got a lot of experience or you've never hired a boat before you arrive, we've turned the boat round the wrong way, so that once we've handed the boat over to you and explained how all the knobs and buttons work on the inside and outside of the boat, we'll let you load all your equipment, and then if you've never driven the boat before, we'll take you for a 40-minute trip up to the turning hole and back, and we'll explain how to moor the boat, how to set off, the right speeds, passing boats, going through bridges, how to turn it and get back, and so you feel confident in taking the boat out for the week.
So this is lovely. It's nice, it's hip height, isn't it? That's much easier for me. My tiller on my boat's up here and it kills my shoulder. So this is lovely. And has it got a bow thruster?
It has, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got bow thruster as well. So I've just found out that there's still a few weeks available to hire this boat this year. You can go down the Monte, you can go all the way to the wonderful Pontus-Sutley Aqueduct, the highest aqueduct in the world. And these sleep six, these. There's 4 bunks and then there's a double bed as well in the saloon area. And also remember, you don't need to be a wheelchair user or have a wheelchair user in your party. Be somebody that just needs a bit of a break from their mental health. Anything, but this is a perfect boat to have some adventures on. Did you love that?
Yeah, it was really good fun.
Yeah.
Sunshine in nature. It's nothing like it, is there?
I take all this for granted living aboard, but it's just been a wonderful day. And to have sunshine though, Sarah, that is a rare thing, let me tell you, especially at the moment.
Sunshine and having a great experience.
Yeah, and good company as well, you know. So not only have we got the Shropshire Maid that we've just been on now, so you can hire that, it's like a holiday boat, you hire that for a week, but also there's this little day boat.
The only difference with this one is it does have secondary steering, so if you're sat in your wheelchair and you can't operate the tiller, it does have a little knob like you would have on your wheelchair so that you can steer, and that's a hydraulic drive that drives the tiller. Wow,
that's amazing.
And in order to, if you're a bit low in your wheelchair and you can't see over the top of the narrowboat, there's a CCTV camera there with CCTV at the front, so you get a little bit of a view about what's ahead of you.
Wow, that's brilliant. Okay, so let's go and have a look inside then. I love going on these lifts.
It's not exactly like looking, you go right.
Yeah. Scream if you want to go faster!
So this is our day boat. If you hire this, it's for 12 people, plus we provide a crew and a skipper for you. But if you want to steer the whole of the day, then you can, and we've got professionally trained skippers that are all RYA helmsmen qualified that will teach you how to handle the boat. We've got a little galley with a hob and a sink and a fridge for people to bring their own picnics and do basic food, and then it's just a day boat for up to 12 people. Obviously the gunnels drop down, so if you are in a wheelchair you can see easier out the side, you get a better view of what's going on. And just like the maid, going through into the cratch, we don't lift up into a raised well deck like you get on most boats. It's wheelchair accessible to go through, and this is quite a nice large cratch, bigger than most, and the size go up so you can sit out and enjoy the day when it's like today. Trips we do on this, we don't go through any locks. The furthest we go is up to the Narrowboat in at Whittington, a meal there and come back for the day, or we go to the junction with the Montgomery Canal. That's nice for a picnic if you brought your own picnic. Or if we go the other way towards Whitshall, into Whitshall Marina and use their cafe. We've got good relationships with them, and they make sure there's a mooring for us and have the food ready for when we arrive and look after us really well.
And you can book this any day of the week. So are we going up?
Yeah, go up.
Hee! Woohoo! I love this. This is brilliant. So the Lyneal Trust isn't only about the boats, they've also got cottages here.
So there's always been a cottage, Wharfman's Cottage, on this site from when the canal was built, but this particular building used to be at Frankton Junction Wharf, and when that wharf closed, obviously the original cottage that was here was in need of replacing, so they took down the cottage that was at Frankton Junction Wharf and moved it here. So this is the cottage you see today.
So when I first saw these cottages, I thought these were all individual things, but they're not. It's all connected, and I'll show you why. So this here is the main wharf cottage. This is like the living quarters. So you've got a huge big utility room here. Then you've got a massively accessible toilet. You've got this kitchen, there's also a dishwasher in here. This is like a little bit of a dining room, and they've got central heating, but also they've got a fire, so you can bring your own logs and have a nice roaring fire. Dining table, and then the lounge. And this is just absolutely gorgeous because you've got surround views through the windows right onto the canal. We just need a boat to be going past now. So the way this place works is you hire it, whether there's 6, 8, I'm not sure the numbers, I'll find out in a minute off Peter. So the whole place is yours. Your group has access to all this wonderful place. And just in that building there is washing machines. So you can get all your washing done as well, do all your washing. But it's brilliant because the whole place is accessible, no steps at all. So we're going to go now and have a look at some of these bedrooms.
Okay, well, the cottages will sleep up to 8 people. When you come as guests, the whole site is yours. Occasionally on the perimeter path somebody might come to use the boat, but effectively we want you to become undisturbed, enjoy the peace and the quiet. And I emphasise peace and quiet, apart from the birds. The dining room sits 8, and then you've got our new garden room, which we're quite proud of because it really is an improvement. And you sit there, watch the boats go by, just come out and enjoy the gardens, just relax, and that's what it's all about. Of course, from here, you're only a short distance to Shrewsbury, where you've got the very nice market town, Chester not far away, and of course you're just a few miles from the Welsh border, and then you've got access to Snowdonia, Vyrnwy, the list goes on, and loads of National Trust properties in the area. So there's plenty to go and visit, just a short trip away. But the word relax and safe environment, access, no problems, and possibly go for a day trip on the Lady.
Okay, so this is one of the bedrooms on here now. Wow, it's massive.
This room is a nice large double. There's plenty of space to manoeuvre around. We've got a nice dressing table with coffee, tea and sugar facilities. But what's special about this room is there's also a 2-seater sofa that could be pulled out into another bed. And also what we have put in is this little table by the window. So if anybody just wants to sit here in quiet and peace, maybe sitting there with a glass of wine or something, and
Yeah,
in the warm and looking out on on the gardens.
And you can see as well, I've just noticed that right from there, so from your bed, that window there and that window there, you can actually watch boats going past.
Yeah.
And I just thought I'd show you as well, the bathroom is absolutely massive. So Peter, all this is bookable on the website, isn't it?
Absolutely. And there's three different elements. There's the holiday boat, the day boat and the cottages, and each one stands alone, or you can do a mix and match. But yes, all bookable, and you can see availability on the website.
So we've had a tour of the place now, and I'm just going to ask you guys about your favourite, probably memorable moments that have happened either here in the cottages or on the boats that you often think about.
One of my earliest memories, not long after I joined the trust, I was skippering on the Lady, and there was a young man who was severely disabled in a specially built wheelchair, and he had two carers 24/7 looking after him. And there was no problem getting him on the boat, and we got him settled in, and we've been going along. After a while, one of the carers shouted out, "Jane, Jane, come quickly." So we panicked, knocked the boat into neutral. I jumped down off the lift down and said, "What's the matter?" And I said, "Look, he's lifted his hand and he's smiling." And these two carers who'd been with him for a couple of years had never seen it. Now, the reason he had reacted, we realised, he'd seen through the windows, big windows, he'd seen a cow drinking out of the canal. Something that just triggered that one moment that had not been seen before, and that was the magical moment. And all our volunteers feel the same. It's just different stories that we've all experienced over the years, either on the cottage or on the boat, that many thought was never, ever possible.
One thing that sort of touched me was a lady came to me and said they had such a lovely time here. She brought her mum, who's got dementia, and her mum couldn't no longer do the stairs, so she brought her here so they could have some time together. And she said they had such a lovely time because it's such a relaxing place, and that was one of her last memories of doing something lovely with her mum.
Oh, that's
and
lovely.
To me, that really brought home of why we all volunteer our time to make this happen for different people.
Wonderful.
And that lady's now one of our volunteers.
So anybody that does want to have a look at what these guys do with the boats or the cottages, I'm going to actually put a QR code on the screen, which I've never done before, but they have a QR code. But the website and links to everything will be in the video description. Anyway, let's head back to the Jolly Roger and little Bonnie. Hiya, Bonnie. Hello. You see, you could have come with us after all, couldn't you? Eh? Because they allow dogs at the Lyneal Trust. They do. Are you ready for a big walk? Are you? Eh? Oh, you're beautiful. So we're just going to have a quick run because I need to take Bonnie for a walk. This is from Ken and Susan. It's the Deadhead rum and it's lovely. We're only having a little, just that'll do. Just below the nipple. There we go. And a huge thank you as well to this week's pirate crew. Thank you for everything that you do. And this is just a little one, just enough to wet the lips. So cheers, everyone. Woohoo! Gorgeous. So the Lyneal Trust, what an amazing place and what amazing work that the team there do. And I was quite overwhelmed really because I've passed this place so many times and I didn't know everything that went on. The fact that you can rent the cottages, the day boat, the holiday boat, a combination, and the prices as well, if you look on the website, are quite reasonable. And the main thing as well is to remember that you don't have to be a wheelchair user. You can just be recuperating from an illness or have a family member that could do with a break. You know, they were saying as well that they had a guy there, a family, and he had dementia and it was just really good for the family. So, you know, and they deal with people with mental health issues, depression, everything. It's just a beautiful place to go for your well-being. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video here. If you have enjoyed it, please do give us a big thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. And before I go, just a huge, massive thank you to my lovely, gorgeous patrons. So that's it. Please take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next week.